President has already deployed the Guard in Washington, D.C., where he has direct, legal, undisputed control. Let's discuss with our legal panel, former U.S. Attorney, Washington, D.C., former Chief Counsel for the Senate Rules Committee, and Newsmax contributor Joe diGenova, and former Chief Counsel for the Senate Intelligence Committee, former Senior Justice Department official, and Newsmax contributor Victoria Toensing, the Salcedo Show Legal Eagles. Hey, guys. Victoria, the issue should go to the Supreme Court, I'm imagining, but what about the limits on the president's power? Is the president prohibited from using the National Guard to protect federal assets and personnel in these states to free up local police who have been buried by left-wing pro-criminal Democrat policies?
No, he is not, Chris. And in June, this same judge held that he couldn't send in the troops under any circumstances. And for that, he got overturned. And I think some articles of impeachment were filed against him. But this time, the issue was, well, if the Guard's there, what can they do and what can they not do? And while this judge is Clinton-appointed judge is very anti-Trump, I'm sorry, but our military handed him ammunition. They had a no-no list of 12 things that the National Guard cannot do under the Posse Comitatus Act. And they're just bizarre things, like they can't apprehend anybody. Of course they can. What if somebody's doing something and they have to hold them for the police to come? They can't do riot control. They can't do crowd control. The no-nos were written, the 12 no-nos were written, and they should be rewritten. They were written by some woke Army nerd, and they should be reevaluated and not give ammunition to any court.
Okay, well, Trump has floated the idea of National Guard deployments in Democrat-led cities, Democrat-buried cities like Chicago. With the president posting on X, Chicago is the worst and most dangerous city in the world by far. Pritzker needs help badly. He just doesn't know it yet. I will solve the crime problem fast, just like I did in D.C. Chicago will be safe again and soon make America great again, end quote. Joe, what can President Trump legally do by deploying the Guard in these lawless blue cities? What does the Posse Comitatus law actually say?
He can deploy the troops to protect federal property, to protect federal personnel, federal judges, assistant U.S. attorneys, FBI people, DEA, anybody. He can protect the ICE building. They can protect ICE personnel. But what they cannot do is engage in actual law enforcement. They cannot arrest people. They cannot pursue people. So the bottom line is, what Victoria said earlier is, if the Posse Comitatus Act is going to stay in, they have to do some amending to it. But he's got plenty of room to allow them to protect property and people that are federal in nature. In every major American city, there are dozens and dozens, now hundreds of federal officials trying to fight crime. The Guard can help protect them and can help protect the buildings that they function in.
Right. So if the Guard is protecting FBI agents who are authorized to basically stop crime in America, and if a guardsman sees somebody breaking the law, they have, or if somebody attacks a guardsman, they have the right to defend themselves. I don't think well, maybe the Democrats would suggest they got to sit there and take it. I should watch what I say. Victoria, leftist U.S. District Judge James Boasberg, appointed by Obama, quietly releasing a woman accused of threatening to kill President Trump. 50-year-old Natalie Jones initially denied bond over the alleged threats by a U.S. magistrate judge, ordered to undergo a competency evaluation while she was behind bars. But here comes Boasberg. He chose to reverse the decision, telling the court that he felt Jones really didn't pose a threat to the public. In the wake of 2 assassination attempts against the president, how do you interpret Mr. Boasberg's decision here?
Well, this is his third strike, Chris. I think he's out. The first strike was Kevin Kleinsmith, remember, the FBI lawyer who lied about Carter Page and said he was not a CIA informant or a CIA asset when in fact he was, but that got the FISA court on investigating Carter. And then the second thing he did was he was the one who ordered the deportees' plane to turn back. And when it didn't turn back because it was in midair, he wanted to hold Justice Department lawyers in contempt. And he was struck down on that by a court of appeals. If I were Janine, and I love her, I've known her for years, I would rush into the court and say, I want a trial right away because this woman is out and dangerous and the judge just let her out. Give me the immediate, speedy trial.
You know, folks, I thank God for my wonderful wife, my kids, my country, the greatest nation ever. And Americans like you who believe in the truth, the Chris Salcedo Show will never stop fighting for you.
The Chris Salcedo Show, for the news you need to know.